Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I wanted to do a video on Lou Dobbs really exposing what's going on with Bill Barr, the Justice Department, and the illusion that anybody will be brought to justice in the actual Russiagate scandal. Whether or not that be James Clapper, or John Brennan, or Joe Biden, or yes, even Barack Obama, hashtag Obamagate, because the fix is in. And Dobbs is certainly not perfect. He is somebody who I think, in my opinion, sometimes leans a little bit too much towards the intelligence community on foreign policy and, quite frankly, fear-mongering and warmongering for the military-industrial complex. However, he's always been somebody who has been against globalization. He's always been somebody who wanted more American workers, less regulation, and more freedom. He's always been a libertarian-leaning type of individual, and that's why I featured him in Invisible Empire when he was exposing globalism during the George Bush administration.
Opponents, however, say the initiative is nothing less than a plan to create a North American Union that would eliminate sovereignty for all three nations.
Building on the North American Free Trade Agreement, the NAFTA section of the Commerce Department is busy drafting laws and regulations for a North American Union, a union of Canada, America, and Mexico. The President has attended secret meetings and signed at least 2 agreements under the Security and Prosperity Partnership Program.
The stated goal established by Presidents Bush, Fox, and Prime Minister Paul Martin is integration by 2010.
It's a plan from the business elites, the political elites, that will cost more American jobs, cost American sovereignty, but it would fulfill the President's father's vision.
Now, former United States Trade Ambassador Robert Zoellick is talking about it again with renewed vigor. This time, a new world order with business at the helm of trade and economic policy. It's an agenda that goes hand in hand with the United States, Mexico, and Canada working quietly and behind the scenes to promote a common market with common deregulation for the benefit of multinational corporations.
It's remarkable to me, the arrogance, the idea of just simply throwing away the nation's sovereignty, but they're trying to do so in so many ways. People better understand that they mean exactly what they're saying. It's a new world order they're trying to create.
Dobbs, the only mainstream anchor to expose the New World Order, resigned shortly after bullets were fired into his home. In fact, a lot of people out there would, basically conclude that he was pushed into Fox Business because, let's face it, CNN wasn't going with the Lou Dobbs thing. That's where he used to be. And Fox News, they weren't ready for that type of truth. I don't think they could have predicted the change, the turn, for instance, that Tucker Carlson would make and the immense popularity that he would gain because of it. So before we play this clip, I do want to remind everybody that I am fully demonetized on YouTube for 6+ months, and it is now the beginning of November, our 17th month of completely free and independent media. So if you want to support me, guys, please go click the link down below, and $5, $10, $15 big donors, you mean the world to me. Don't forget, we're also live Monday through Friday for free at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Rockfin. So the clip we're about to play actually shows Dobbs asking the question why nothing has been done by the Justice Department. Is Barr bought? Is he intimidated? What's the deal? Because the evidence is right in front of our face.
There's only one statement here that makes any sense. The FBI is utterly politically corrupt, irrespective of the placement of William Barr as Attorney General. Has the man just been gutted? Is he intimidated? Is he fearful? or is he bought?
Now, in contrast to that, the person he's interviewing really tries to skirt the issue and defend Bill Barr and really the media military industrial complex, saying, well, you know, there are just certain things that he couldn't do. These FBI agents are wily, after all.
I might throw another option in there, which is I think he's hamstrung by the system. The Attorney General Barr has shown an extraordinary determination to get to the bottom of issues that no one else other than Devin Nunes was willing to get to the bottom of. He launched a widespread investigation with a very respected prosecutor. I think in the summer and fall, the Justice Department got played. They slowed down for a little bit about COVID. And then when they got ramped back up, they got played by the very wily FBI agents who carried out the Russia collusion plot, who started going to court, slowing things down, canceling interviews and doing other things, playing the rope-a-dope, as Muhammad Ali might say, to slow down the investigation.
So there will be no criminal accountability for people like Peter Strzok. That is clear. What people don't understand is the past of Bill Barr. They don't understand that Joe Biden championed Bill Barr while they were actually getting ready for him to become what? The Attorney General under the first Bush administration.
Throughout his career of public service, William Barr has acted to protect and enhance the authority of the executive. As Attorney General, however, Mr. Barr must distinguish the interest of the President from those of the public, and he must respect the separate, though complementary, powers of the three branches of government. Based on my contacts with Mr. Barr, both before and during his testimony at the Judiciary Committee hearings on his nomination, I believe that Mr. Barr understands and is committed to the dual responsibility of the Office of Attorney General.
In fact, they didn't even take a real vote. It was the yeas and nays, believe it or not.
I would just say at this point, I know of no one on the Democratic side asking for a roll call vote. I see no need for one. Obviously, we'll accommodate one if anyone would like, but we're ready to vote whenever my colleagues are finished speaking to this issue.
Can you believe something like that would go on in this political climate? Probably not. Another thing that people are really unaware of is that Bill Barr is as deep state as it gets. He's career CIA. In fact, he was CIA before he passed the bar. That's right, he was in the Central Intelligence Agency while getting his law degree.
And meantime, all the time at the CIA, he had gone to night law school over here at George Washington University. And he graduated second in his class, by the way, while being a full-time CIA employee. He graduated second in his class of both day and night students.
And before he became the youngest Attorney General under George H.W. Bush, he wrote up the paperwork with his then buddy, Robert Mueller, on bringing our former asset, Manuel Noriega, into the United States illegally.
And while all the attention is focused on Assistant Attorney General Robert Mueller, who heads the criminal division, I think it'll turn out that Barr had quite a role.
I also point out that it is William Barr who wrote the brief justifying the kidnapping of Manuel Noriega.
That's right. He wrote a number of controversial briefs in that office, Office of Legal Counsel. It was led by the brief that said that U.S. agents have the authority to go overseas and kidnap fugitives from U.S. law, even without the host country's permission. And this was akin to what happened in Panama as well. It's been an extremely controversial opinion. Aspects of it already have been questioned by federal courts.
Now, on top of all of this, we have this recent clip where Bill Barr literally laughed when he was confronted about the suicide situation of Jeffrey Epstein and whether or not the Justice Department would be able to keep Ghislaine Maxwell alive. It was simply stunning and chilling that this was such a big joke, not only to Barr, but to his media counterpart.
Ghislaine Maxwell is now in federal custody. Number one, can you ensure that she will make it to trial? Jeffrey Epstein died suicide situation. Are you locked in on this to make sure that doesn't happen, sir?
Yes.
Can you give me a sense of what you told the people in charge?
That's where we are today. The cover-up crew is inside the Trump administration. Do not fool yourself. Think back to past appointees and who they really are. John Bolton, as neocon as it gets. James Mad Dog Mattis, as establishment as it gets. Look to the people still inside. Look to Gina Haspel. That's the reality. We have an out-of-control national security state that's been around and really flourishing, becoming a leviathan since World War II. They are completely unaccountable, and although there are portions of them that are part of the executive branch, they barely, if at all, answer to the true executive of the President of the United States. You have to ask yourself, post-World War II, how many high-level military or intelligence officials have ever been convicted of a crime or ever served time in prison? That should let you know how far gone this country really is. Guys, I want to thank you one more time for joining me. Remember, it's not about left or right. It's always about right and wrong. And don't forget, you can support me either in the GoFundMe link down below, or you can go create a free account over at Rockfin right now and make sure that you're tuning in at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. You want to become a premium member, you get everybody's content. It's a Netflix for independent content creators, and it's pushing free speech. So make sure you join me there as well. I love you, and I'll see you on the flip side.